Hi there and welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. You don't need deep pockets or a young back to turn your outdoor space into something truly special. All it takes is a bit of imagination, a few overlooked items from around the house, and a lifelong love for nature. Today, we're exploring 25 creative garden makeover ideas, thoughtfully designed for those of us who appreciate beauty, comfort, and ease. If you enjoy tips like these, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another burst of green thumb inspiration. Let's dig into it. Tip number 1. Turn wooden crates into garden shelves. Let's start with something easy and effective. Remember those old wooden crates from the farmer's market? Or maybe you've got some gathering dust in the garage. It's time to give them new life. Simply stack 2 or 3 crates vertically against a wall or garden fence. Secure them with a few screws or garden wire to keep them stable, and voila! You've got yourself rustic garden shelves. Perfect for herbs, tools, or flower pots, this setup saves your knees and back. No bending, no digging. Just reach, place, and enjoy. Plus, you can set the shelves at whatever height suits you best. It's practical, it's charming, and it transforms forgotten clutter into functional beauty. With just one small tweak, your garden will feel more like a personal sanctuary. Tip 2. Cake pans into bird baths. A gentle invitation for feathered friends. Now here's a little magic you might already have sitting in the back of your kitchen cabinet. An old cake pan. Maybe it's a bit scratched, maybe it hasn't seen a cake in years, but don't toss it just yet. Take that pan, place it on top of an upside-down flower pot, a sturdy stump, or even an old side table, and you've got yourself a lovely bird bath. Fill it with fresh water, add a small flat stone in the middle for birds to perch on, and place it somewhere shaded and quiet. This little touch brings life to your garden in the most peaceful way. You'll be surprised how quickly the sparrows and finches find their way to it. And for us seniors, watching birds flutter in and out, especially with a cup of tea in hand, is one of the simple joys that never gets old. Tip 3. Colanders as hanging planters. Drainage built right in. All right, now let's peek into the kitchen again. Ever wondered what to do with those old metal colanders just taking up space in your cupboard? The ones with all the little holes? Turns out they're perfect for plants because guess what? Those holes are built-in drainage. That's one last step for you. Just line the inside with a bit of coconut fibre or burlap, add some potting soil, and plant your favourite flowers, or even a bit of trailing ivy. Now attach a few sturdy chains, or use a macrame holder if you've got one, and hang it on your porch or from a garden hook. You've just created a vintage-style hanging planter with a little retro flair and no extra cost. It's light, it's cheerful, and it keeps things off the ground, which is always easier on our backs and knees. A small idea that brings big charm. Tip 4. Turn an old walker into a mobile potting bench. Smart and sentimental. Now here's one that's both practical and a little nostalgic. Do you or someone you know have an old walker tucked away in the closet? Maybe it's no longer needed, or maybe it's just waiting for a new purpose. Well, give it one. Take that walker, place a wooden board, or even an old serving tray across the top rails, and boom! You've got yourself a mobile potting bench. Lightweight, stable, and just the right height to work from a seated position. No hunching, no hauling heavy materials. You can wheel it out to the sunny spot in your yard, keep your small tools and seed packets on top, and use the lower bars to hang gloves or garden twine. It's a beautiful way to repurpose something that once gave support and still can, just in a different way. That's what gardening is all about, isn't it? New life in unexpected places. Tip 5. Shutter panels as vertical garden backdrops. At height, without the hassle. You've seen them, old wooden shutters leaning, forgotten in the shed or at the thrift store. They might be chipped or faded, but to us gardeners, they're pure gold. Stand them up against a fence or wall, give them a fresh coat of outdoor paint if you'd like, and now you've got yourself a vertical garden feature without spending a dime on fancy structures. You can hang small terracotta pots from the slats, attach hooks for your hand tools, or let climbing plants like sweet peas or morning glories weave their way through. This tip is especially great for those of us working with small spaces or who prefer to garden standing up without crouching. It brings beauty to eye level, where we can enjoy it most. And the best part? It turns something old and forgotten into a backdrop full of life. Tip 6. Milk crates as stackable veggie beds. Build up, not down. Alright, here's a trick that's especially handy if bending and digging have become more of a chore than a joy. Milk crates. Yes, those sturdy plastic ones you used to carry books or records in. They make excellent mini-raised garden beds. Just line the inside with some landscape fabric or even an old pillowcase. Add potting soil and plant your leafy greens, strawberries or herbs. Stack them 2 or 3 high if you want to avoid bending over entirely. They're lightweight, easy to move around if the sun shifts, and you can rearrange them whenever you need. Plus, they give your garden a fun modular look, like little garden drawers, just waiting to grow something delicious. Perfect for porches, patios, or anywhere space is tight, but your green thumb still wants to stretch. Tip 7. Glass jars as garden lanterns. Light up your evenings. Now here's something truly magical. If you've got some old glass jars, pickle jars, jam jars, even mason jars, don't toss them. Instead, let them bring a warm glow to your garden come evening. Just drop a tea light inside, battery-operated ones work great and are safer. Or wrap a small string of fairy lights and tuck them in. Then hang the jars from low tree branches, hooks along the fence, or even place them on steps or tables around your garden. As the sun sets, your whole outdoor space takes on a soft, welcoming sparkle. It's not just pretty, it's peaceful. The kind of peaceful that wraps around you like a good blanket. And for us older folks, it adds both charm and visibility for those twilight strolls or quiet moments with a book outdoors. Simple, serene, and straight from the recycling bin. Tip 8. Upcycled cutlery as plant markers. A touch of whimsy and memory. Now here's a project that brings both personality and practicality to your garden. Got an old spoon or fork that's lost its match? Maybe a bent butter knife that's too charming to throw away? Turn it into a plant marker. All you have to do is flatten the handle with a gentle tap from a hammer. Don't worry, no fancy tools needed. Then write the name of your plant on the metal using a permanent marker, or even paint it with nail polish for a little extra flair. Stick it in the soil next to your tomatoes, basil, or marigolds, and suddenly your garden isn't just growing food, it's growing stories. It's a lovely way to bring a bit of your kitchen or your past into the garden. And for those of us who sometimes forget what we planted where, these little markers are more helpful than you'd think. Tip 9. Teacups as mini planters. Sip, smile, and grow. Let's head back to the kitchen again, shall we? If you've got a few cracked or mismatched teacups, the ones too pretty to toss, but no longer part of a set, don't worry. They're about to become the stars of your garden. Just fill each one with a bit of potting soil and tuck in a small succulent, herb, or even a cheerful bloom like a pansy. Set them on a garden shelf, your front porch railing, or an old tray by your favourite outdoor chair. No heavy lifting, no digging, just small, joyful touches that bring colour and life into view. And let's be honest, there's something lovely about giving your garden a little afternoon tea of its own. A bit of elegance, a nod to the past, and a whole lot of personality. For us older gardeners, these tiny displays make gardening feel accessible again, even from the comfort of a porch swing. Tip 10. Picture frames as garden art. Frame the beauty you've grown. Now this one's a personal favourite of mine, and it's as easy as it is eye-catching. You know those old picture frames tucked away in closets or thrift store bins? The ones with a bit of wear, maybe missing the glass? Don't overlook them. Give the frame a new coat of paint, something bright and cheerful or soft and rustic. Then hang it directly on your fence, lean it against a tree, or even mount it on a garden wall. It creates the effect of a living painting, framing a bed of blooms, a vine-covered trellis, or even a little garden gnome. You can also use it to stretch mesh or chicken wire and grow climbing beans or sweet peas right through it. It's art that grows. How's that for clever? And the best part? There's no right or wrong way to do it, just a little imagination and a willingness to look at something old in a brand new light. Tip 11. Old ladders as tiered plant stands. Take your garden to new heights. If you've got an old wooden ladder that's seen better days, don't send it to the dump just yet, because what used to help you reach high places can now help your plants rise and shine. Simply open the ladder and stabilize it in a sunny spot. Place potted plants on each rung, herbs on one, flowers on another, maybe a few trailing vines spilling down the side. You can even use the top to hang a small lantern or wind chime for a touch of movement and sound. The beauty of this tip is how little bending or digging it requires. Everything is right at eye level, easy to water, easy to admire. And let's be honest, for those of us who've been gardening a long time, there's something poetic about giving a once trusted tool a whole new purpose. Still useful, still sturdy, just like us. Tip 12. Vintage sinks as statement planters, where function meets flair. Alright, now this one might raise an eyebrow, but trust me, it's a showstopper. If you ever come across an old porcelain or enamel kitchen sink, maybe at a yard sale or hiding behind the shed, don't pass it up. You're looking at your next big bowl planter with built-in drainage and a deep basin. It's perfect for planting a mix of herbs, lettuce, or a riot of colourful flowers. Set it on a pair of bricks, an old table frame, or even low cinder blocks to lift it just high enough for easy access. No need to crouch, no need to strain. And the charm? Oh, it's off the charts. There's something so satisfying about growing food or flowers in something that once served your kitchen. It's strong, it's durable, and it adds a lovely vintage twist to your garden. Just like us, it gets better with age. Tip 13. Old drawers as layered planters. A garden with depth and delight. Now, here's a tip that turns old furniture into fresh life. If you've got an old dresser that's seen better days or even just a few spare drawers, don't toss them out. They make absolutely charming garden beds. Line each drawer with a bit of plastic or landscape fabric, poke a few drainage holes in the bottom, fill them with soil, and plant away. You can grow herbs, lettuce, pansies, or whatever brings you joy. Better yet, stack them in a stair-step pattern, one on the ground, one on bricks, another on top, and create a layered garden that's both beautiful and easy to tend. It's the perfect setup for us older gardeners. Everything stays within reach, no digging, no backstrain, and it adds that cosy, shabby chic look that makes a garden feel truly loved. A drawer once filled with socks now full of strawberries. Isn't that a lovely little surprise? Tip 14. Pegboards and masonry nails. Tidy, vertical, and oh so handy. Here's a little gem from the garage that's just waiting to shine in your garden. Pegboards. You might have used one years ago to hang tools in the workshop, but today we're giving it a second life outdoors. Mount a pegboard to the side of your shed, garden wall, or even a sturdy fence. Add a few strong masonry nails or hooks, and suddenly you've got a vertical command centre for your garden. Hang gloves, trowels, twine, or even small pots of herbs and flowers. It keeps everything organised, off the ground, and right where you can see it, which is a real blessing when you don't feel like digging through drawers or bending down. For older hands and aging knees, it's all about simplicity and smart design. And there's something so satisfying about seeing your tools lined up like little soldiers, ready to help you grow something beautiful. Tip 15. shower curtains as garden backdrops. Colour, cover and charm. Now here's something you probably never thought would end up in the garden. An old plastic shower curtain. But don't laugh just yet. Those bright, cheerful prints? They make fantastic outdoor backdrops. Hang one along your fence, between two posts, or on the back of your porch using simple clips or garden hooks. They can hide unsightly areas, block a bit of wind, or add a pop of colour to an otherwise dull corner. They're waterproof by nature, easy to wipe clean and a breeze to set up. And for us seniors, that means no hauling heavy supplies or wrestling with big construction projects. Just unroll, clip and admire. You can even use them to create a little private corner for reading, meditating or sipping your morning coffee. It's amazing how a simple shower curtain can turn a basic space into your own little sanctuary. Tip 16. Vintage luggage as planters. A garden with a story to tell. Now this one's for the sentimental souls among us. You know that old suitcase in the attic? The one that's carried memories across the years? Well, it's about to carry something else. Plants. Drill a few drainage holes in the bottom, line it with landscape fabric or a plastic liner, and fill it with potting soil. Then plant a mix of herbs, flowers, or even some leafy greens. Set it open on a bench, lean it against a wall, or stack it with a few others for that layered, travel-inspired charm. What makes this idea so special is the story it tells. Each scuff on that suitcase, each scratch on the handle, it's all part of the beauty. And now, instead of sitting forgotten, it becomes a centerpiece of your garden. For us older gardeners, it's a reminder that no matter where we've been, we're still growing. And that's a beautiful thing. Tip 17. Salvage fence panels for privacy and vines. Create a quiet corner. You know how sometimes you just want a little privacy in the garden? A quiet nook to sit, think, or sip your tea without the neighbours peeking in? Well, old fence panels can help with that, and they don't have to be perfect. Whether they're wood, metal, or something in between, salvage panels can be placed along a patio edge, behind a bench, or to separate one part of your garden from another. And here's the best part. They make a perfect support for climbing plants like morning glories, clematis, or even pole beans. Just lean them up or secure them with garden stakes, and you've instantly added structure, greenery, and a touch of cozy charm. It's a simple solution for those of us who treasure peace and a bit of shade in the afternoon sun. A little separation, a lot of serenity, and all with materials that would have otherwise gone to waste. Tip 18. Curtain rods as plant stakes. Elegant support with a surprise twist. You might be surprised to hear this, but those old curtain rods sitting in storage, they're just what your tall plants have been asking for. Instead of buying flimsy plastic stakes or expensive supports, grab a few unused curtain rods, even the slightly bent ones, and press them into the soil beside your tomatoes, dahlias, or climbing peas. They're lightweight, easy to handle, and often come with decorative finials on the ends that add a touch of unexpected beauty to your garden beds. And here's the best part for us older gardeners. No need for hammering, heavy lifting, or fancy tools. Just press and tie. Simple as that. Sometimes the most graceful solutions are the ones we've already got at home, and this one brings a little indoor charm right into the sunshine. Tip 19. Serving trays as wall-mounted herb gardens, from kitchen to garden wall. Now here's a tip that brings your kitchen outdoors in the best possible way. Those old metal or enamel serving trays, yes, the ones you used for cookies or tea, can be turned into charming little herb gardens right on your wall or fence. All you need to do is mount the tray flat against a surface. Use screws or strong zip ties if you like, then either place small potted herbs inside or line the tray with coconut coir and soil to plant directly. Basil, thyme, parsley, whatever you love to cook with. Now growing right at arm's reach. And for those of us who like to keep things tidy and close, it's a brilliant solution. No bending, no clutter, and all the flavour you need in one sweet little space. It's like your garden whispers, "Dinner's ready," every time you pass by. Tip 20. Picture frame glass as mini cold frames. A warm start for tender plants. You know those old picture frames with the glass still intact? Don't let them collect dust. They're actually the perfect tool for giving your seedlings a warm, cosy start, especially in early spring or late fall. Just hinge the glass frame to a shallow wooden box or place it over a raised bed, like a little lid. You've now created a cold frame, a mini greenhouse that traps warmth and protects your plants from chilly nights or sudden frosts. No fancy equipment, no big expense, just something simple and smart that helps you grow earlier, longer and stronger. And for us older gardeners who know the rhythm of the season so well, there's a quiet joy in helping new life get just the right start at just the right time. It's a gentle reminder that warmth, care, and a little creativity go a long way. Tip 21. Wine racks as planter holders. Sip, stack, and grow. Got an old wine rack collecting dust? Maybe it held bottles once upon a time, but now it's just sitting there, waiting for a second life. Well, it's time to bring it into the garden. Slide in small terracotta pots or mason jars. Plant them with herbs, succulents, or bright annuals, and you've created a compact, elegant planting system. Set it vertically against a wall, or place it on a patio table for easy access. It's especially perfect if you're gardening in a small space, or if lifting and bending are a bit harder these days. Everything is organised, off the ground and within easy reach. And there's something quite poetic about a wine rack holding flowers instead of bottles. It's still about savouring the moment, just in a whole new way. Tip 22. Concrete blocks for modular gardens. Build what you need when you need it. If you've ever had leftover concrete blocks from a project or seen them at a neighbour's curb, don't overlook their gardening potential. These sturdy beauties are incredibly versatile and surprisingly stylish when used creatively. Stack them to build raised beds, garden walls, or even bench seating. Their open centres are perfect for planting herbs, flowers, or succulents. Just fill the holes with soil and plant away. The best part? You can move or restack them whenever you need, which makes them perfect for gardeners who want flexibility without a lot of heavy lifting. No nails, no digging, no bending to the ground. It's gardening at a height that respects your body and gives your space a clean, modern edge, strong, steady, and built to last, just like many of us. Tip 23. Corkboards as vertical succulent gardens. A living wall with personality. Now, here's a fun twist on something you might already have. A corkboard. You know, the kind that once held reminders, photos, or recipes. Today, it becomes a canvas for living art. Lay the corkboard flat, line it with a bit of landscape fabric, and add a shallow layer of soil. Then attach small succulent cuttings using floral pins, mesh, or wire. Once rooted, you can hang it up like a picture on your porch, garden wall, or even indoors near a sunny window. It's lightweight, easy to maintain, and gives you that beautiful living frame effect. Best of all, succulents don't need much care, just a little light and an occasional sip of water. Perfect for us gardeners who enjoy low-maintenance beauty that still packs a punch. And every time you walk past it, it reminds you, you're never too old to grow something unexpected. Tip 24. Foldable laundry racks for drying herbs. Preserve your harvest with ease. Let's talk about harvest season. If you've been growing rosemary, lavender, mint, or any other fragrant herb, you'll want a simple way to dry and store them. And guess what? That old foldable laundry rack in the corner? It's just the tool for the job. Hang bunches of herbs upside down using clothespins or clips. Place the rack in a sunny, breezy spot, like a porch, a corner of the patio, or near a window. In just a week or two, you'll have beautifully dried herbs ready for teas, cooking, or homemade sachets. No fancy drying machines, no complicated setup, just air, time, and a little know-how. And for us seniors, there's something wonderfully satisfying about preserving what we've grown, extending the life of our garden well into the cooler months. It's like bottling a bit of summer to enjoy all year long. Tip number 25. PVC pipes as vertical planters grow up, not out. And now for our final idea, one that brings a modern twist to classic gardening. Let's turn a simple item from the hardware store into a garden game changer, PVC pipes. If you've got leftover pipes from a plumbing project, don't toss them. They're light, durable, and full of potential. Cut them into short sections, cap the bottoms, and drill a few holes for drainage. Mount them on a wall, stack them vertically, or nestle them into a crate. Then fill them with soil and plant your favourite herbs, strawberries or leafy greens. They're compact, moisture-friendly, easy to clean, and most importantly, they lift your plants up to a height that's kinder on the back and knees. For those of us who garden with wisdom and maybe a little arthritis, this is smart gardening made simple. Who says innovation is just for the young? Conclusion: a garden that grows with you. And there you have it, 25 simple, smart and soul-soothing garden makeover ideas, all crafted with care for the gardener who's been growing both flowers and wisdom over the years. These aren't just budget-friendly hacks. They're about creating a space that moves at your pace, respects your comfort, and celebrates the joy of tending to something meaningful. Because in our golden years, a garden isn't just a patch of earth. It's therapy. It's purpose. It's proof that life still blossoms, one small change at a time. So whether you're planting basil in a vintage suitcase or turning PVC into a vertical garden, remember, beauty doesn't cost much. It just takes heart. Thanks for watching. If you found inspiration today, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow garden lovers, and don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom for more gentle guides on living beautifully at every age. Upcycled.